in Boulder, Colorado, and today we're going to do a video sponsored by Swim Spray on breathing. We're going to talk about both the technique of the breath as well as the timing and how it fits into the rest of the stroke. So first, we're going to talk about the technique. Obviously, you guys have all heard the one goggle in, one goggle out, okay? That is the key to a good breath. It's keeping that head nice and low and just turning your head, one goggle out, and putting it back down. Common mistakes are lifting and then breathing. We don't want to do that. And another common mistake is lifting the head as you breathe so your mouth is close to the surface but one goggle's out, and we don't want that either. We want it to be small and quick right on the surface of the water. And so here's what that looks like. Here are some examples of bad breathing technique. Here you can see how both goggles are out of the water and I'm breathing up towards the sky. Here's another example of lifting your head up and bringing both goggles out but the mouth close to the surface. Finally, you can see here how I'm lifting my head to anticipate the breath. This is another example of not so great breathing technique. Here we can see good breathing technique. You can clearly see how my head stays down and in line with my body the whole time, and then you can also really see that one goggle in, one goggle out as you're taking the breath. Here's a very simple drill that you can do to work on that breathing technique. Simply kick on your side with one arm up and one arm down, and make sure that you keep that one goggle in, one goggle out by looking out of your underwater eye and making sure that you don't see out of the water. Make sure that you blow bubbles while your face is in the water so that you only have to inhale when you turn your head to breathe. Next, you can add in a single arm stroke. Here you're working on the same thing. Try to keep contact between your head and your arms so that you maintain that nice low head position. Also, look out of that bottom eye again. Make sure that you still are only seeing under the water and you're not seeing out of the water with your bottom eye. This last drill is really fun. Attempt to swim with a paddle on your head. This allows you to check your technique. If you're breathing correctly, the water pressure will keep the paddle on your head. If you're moving it around at all, it'll fall off. So now we're going to talk about the timing of the breath. And this is a very challenging thing to work on. Proper timing is like this. As your hand's passing your shoulder on the recovery, that's when you want to start initiating the breath. So as you're beginning that rotation to the other side, you should be turning your head. As soon as your hand enters, you should be fully into the breath. Then you want to return your head before your body. So you want to kind of connect this catch part of the stroke, get your head back down right as you start that high of a catch, or you want to think about your recovering arm. You can try to get your head back down before seeing your hand. If you see your hand, your breath is too slow. Common mistakes are initiating the breath properly, but then just breathing for too long, having too long of a breath by returning your head back down with your body. A late breath is when your hand enters and then you turn your head to breathe and you end up pressing into the stroke and activating your delt, and it prevents you from really activating those big lat muscles that we want to be pulling with when we're swimming. So trying to get that head back down quicker, being able to initiate the breath at the right time, like getting that head back down quicker, it really, really helps you be more balanced and more powerful in your rotation and your stroke. People who have late and slow breaths tend to just use this arm to press into the breath and not to power you forward. So this is a challenging thing to work on, but hopefully you guys can try some of these drills and improve your breath timing and your stroke. Here is one example of bad breath timing. This is a slow breath. I'm breathing for too long and I'm not finishing my breath until my arm is almost entering the water. Another example of bad breath timing is the late breath. Here you can see how I'm not initiating my breath until after my arm is already in the water. Here is proper breath timing. You want to begin to turn your head as your arm is passing your shoulder on the recovery. Then, as your arm gets to full extension, you should be fully into your breath. Finally, return your head back down before your arm comes in front of your face. From the underwater view, you can clearly see how at that full extension, I'm fully into my breath. Then, as I return my head back down, my head turns independently of my body. The breath should be done while your arm is in the catch phase of the stroke. The first drill is the same one that we did for working on breathing technique, but this time we're thinking about how we're turning our head independently of our body. Next, do a one-arm freestyle drill. Pull with one arm and then have the opposite arm down at your side. Breathe to the opposite side of the arm that you're using. The rule here is to not pull before your head gets back down. So return your head and then you can begin to pull back. Next, begin to add that quicker breath into your full stroke, but hesitate each time you take a breath. Follow the same rule as the last drill. You're not allowed to pull back until your head returns to neutral. Finally, after you've mastered those drills, begin to make the quicker breath a normal part of your freestyle stroke. Get that quicker breath in there and you'll be feeling more balanced and more powerful in no time.